Bom dia, everybody. It's the Sao Paulo Grand Prix on this weekend, so let's have a look at as many fast facts as I can get through in less than 5 minutes. Let's go, let's not wait around. The Sao Paulo Grand Prix venue is situated 800 metres above sea level, the second highest altitude on the F1 calendar, behind Mexico City, which sits at 2,300 metres above sea level. Interlagos is a track of two extremes. The first and third sectors require low drag cars for the long straights, but the middle sector is twisty, requiring high downforce. The second DRS zone means more focus is typically on higher downforce for the ultimate fastest lap, but a balance still needs to be found with being competitive on the straights during the race. There is 1.2 kilometers of driving at full throttle between the exit of turn 12 and the braking zone for turn 1, with an average elevation change of 33 meters. The biggest difference in elevation is from the start-finish straight to turn 4, where there is a 40-meter drop in elevation, also known as the Senna S. The long straight before the lap begins also requires some clever deployment of energy from the ERS to maximise performance towards the end of the outlap as the drivers start their flying lap. Turn 1 is banked heavily towards the inside, unloading the front left wheel and causing frequent lockups. However, because the tyre is unloaded, flat spots are less likely and time loss isn't as high as you'd expect due to the steep banking and variety of corner lines drivers can take. The variety of lines is also what makes this corner well suited to overtaking. The uphill grid requires the drivers to find the balance between holding the car and the brakes as gently as possible without rolling backwards. From turn 10 to turn 6, around 3.5 kilometers of distance, the left-hand front tyre does very little work and therefore cools down very quickly, which provides a tricky engineering challenge to keep the tyre in its temperature window. With long straights and a second DRS zone, Interlagos is one of the best tracks of the season for overtaking. However, it can be difficult for the defending car to manage its battery, as there aren't many big braking zones to recover energy. The Sao Paulo Grand Prix is the fifth F1 sprint of the 2025 season, with just Qatar left on the sprint calendar in 2025. This will be the fifth consecutive year that the circuit has hosted a sprint weekend. It is the only track to host the format every year since its inception in the 2021 season. Interlagos is a very flowing circuit with a lot of combined corner entries, which basically means where you are cornering and braking at the same time, meaning good stability is important. The braking energy level for Interlagos is the lowest of all tracks on the calendar at just 2.11 megajoules. Track temperatures can reach some of the hottest of the season in Brazil, up to 60 degrees Celsius, and thunderstorms are common around this time of year, which can potentially spice up the weekend, and indeed, those are forecast on Saturday for qualifying in the sprint. Since 2021, the race around this circuit has been known as the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. From 2019 and before, it was the Brazilian Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas won the inaugural F1 sprint at Interlagos in 2021. A year later, George Russell won his first F1 sprint race at the venue, as well as his first Grand Prix. The Mercedes team has won 6 overall times at Interlagos, in addition to the 3 from Lewis Hamilton in 2016, 18 and 21. George Russell won in 2022, and Nico Rosberg won in 2014 and 2015. Max Verstappen's remarkable win from 17th on the grid last year in Sao Paulo was the first race to be won from that far back since Kimi Raikkonen in Suzuka in 2005. Since the team's F1 debut in 2005, no constructor has won more races at Interlagos than Red Bull at 7. Verstappen's 2019 win at Interlagos marked the first time since 1987 that 2 Honda-powered teams recorded a 1-2 finish, with Pierre Gasly finishing second in the Toro Rosso. And there you go, guys, an absolutely bumper edition of Fast Facts for you there. We definitely didn't shortchange you this race now, did we? There's a full article over on the F1Chronicle.com, guys, if you want to check out all the Fast Facts and everything else you need to know ahead of this weekend's event. So go to the link in the description if you haven't already read it. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Like, share, comment, subscribe, guys, if you want to see more like this. Have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world today, and we'll see you soon for much more F1 content just like this.